Fever forward Bibby ruled out for remainder of the season. Team signs guard Bree. Indiana Fever today announced that forward Bibby will miss the remainder of the 2025 season due to a left knee injury. In a related move, the Fever has signed guard Bree to a rest-of-season hardship contract. Bibby, who joined the Fever on July 25 via a 7-day contract and was later signed through the rest of the season, is expected to make a full recovery. Hall was drafted by Indiana number 20 overall in the 2025 WNBA draft and spent preseason with the team. Hall appeared in the exhibition game against the Brazil national team on May 4th, where she scored 9 points and recorded 4 rebounds. A two-time NCAA champion at the University of South Carolina, Hall was also signed to multiple hardship contracts with the Golden State Valkyries during the 2025 season. Hall will wear number 3 for the Fever. The Indiana Fever have endured what feels like a season straight out of a sports drama, one setback after another, each blow heavy enough to tip even the most resilient team off balance. And yet, amid the chaos, a spark of hope has ignited in the form of young guard Bree. Bibby, a newcomer who had quickly become a quiet but potent force off the bench, saw her breakthrough cut short when a left knee injury officially ended her 2025 WNBA season. Bibby's journey, from being signed on a 7-day hardship contract in late July to her consistent shooting and energy, was one of the rare high points in a season marred by frustration and uncertainty. Her absence is deeply felt, not just for her contributions on the court, but for the momentum she represented. But where the season number of injuries grows, so does the narrative of resilience. In response to Bibby's unfortunate turn, the Fever turned to Bree, a 2025 second-round pick from South Carolina, signing her to a rest-of-season hardship deal. Hall's path to this moment has been anything but smooth. Waived by Indiana before the season, briefly part of the Golden State Valkyries, then cut again. Yet here she is, circling back to the Fever, ready for her moment. Creative snapshot scene. Late night in the Fever locker room, emptiness hangs thick, punctuated only by the hum of the arena lights and the faint echo from the hardwood. A board of upcoming schedules, a lone photo of the starting lineup, mostly marked with red excess, marks the losses of Sydney Colson, Ari McDonald, Sophie Cunningham, and now Bibby. The team is reeling. Then enters Bree, young, focused, and unafraid. She steps into the empty court for a solo layup, the swish of the net echoing with promise. Her number, 3, gleams under the lights, a signal of fresh potential. In the quiet, she isn't just a roster addition, she's a symbol of unwavering determination. Something in her eyes says she'll do more than just fill a position. She'll breathe a new spark into a weary team. Weaving in facts and emotion. Backdrop of adversity. By early September 2025, the Fever have lost 5 players: Bibby, Caitlin Clark, Colson, McDonald, and Cunningham, to season-ending injuries. Despite those losses, the team remains stubbornly in playoff contention, holding the 8th best record in the league. Bree Hall's credentials. Hall, a 20th overall pick and 2-time NCAA champion with South Carolina, carries credentials that evoke grit and clutch performance. This isn't just any signing. It's the engine of a comeback built on proven toughness and a championship mindset. Closing with hopeful vision. The Fever season is far from over. 3 games stand between them and whatever comes next. Playoff stakes hang in the balance. And while Bibby's absence is heartbreaking, it has opened the door for Bree, a fresh chance for a promising guard to carve out her own story. As Hall laces up her shoes, the team around her begins to shift. Strategy becomes leaner, rotations tighter. What was once a narrative of abandon becomes a story of collective resilience. In Hall, the Fever aren't just finding a replacement, they're embracing a future shaped by grit, depth, and an unbreakable spirit. Because in basketball, and in life, sometimes the brightest sparks come not from the biggest names, but from those who refuse to quit. Darkness descends first not on the court, but in the locker room, a low hum of exhaustion and dashed hopes. A season once written in bold strokes of ambition is now dotted with red excess, marking yet another player lost to injury. Sophie Cunningham succumbs to an MCL tear, Sydney Colson, torn ACL, Ari McDonald, broken foot. Their absence leaves holes not only in the lineup, but in the heart of the team. And then, perhaps the most pain-sapping blow, Caitlin Clark, the franchise's beacon, the embodiment of hope, sidelined with a right groin injury since mid-July, and officially ruled out for the remainder of the season. Into that festering wound comes another blow. Chloe Bibby, a late July addition, a spark of undrafted determination, had quickly become a string of late-game threes and a deep exhale of relief for fate-wise Fever fans. On September 4th, the team confirmed what already weighed on everyone's mind. Bibby's left knee injury was season-ending. 3 games left. Playoff hopes balancing on a knife edge. The roster, now threadbare, seems at the mercy of fate. And yet, Chloe Bibby, stardust among shadows. In came Bibby, stirring a flicker of life into the Fever's dying fire. She joined on July 25th via a 7-day hardship contract, went on to secure a longer-term berth, and promptly started making noise. At 27, she traversed the globe, weaving her experience through Australia, Poland, Spain, and now Indiana. 2 games in, the team caught glimpses. She poured in 9 points, shot 50% from 3, and had the ball find its way through the net when it counted. Her floor spacing thrust open lanes in tight quarters, and she became more than a forward. She became a cracked open door to possibility, yet, in mid-August, that door would slam shut. The left knee, fragile as a hushed breath, betrayed her. No negotiation, no fight. It was done. The season was over. Bree Hole, rising from the ashes. Then, as if the Fever's penthouse was cursed, a slender beam of light breaks through. Bree Hole, a 20th overall pick by Indiana in the 2025 WNBA draft, gets the call. Heralded for her 2 NCAA championships with South Carolina and defensive tenacity, she's been a Phoenix before. Drafted then waived in May. Signed by the Golden State Valkyries in June thanks to Eurobasket absences, then waived again, but now she's back on the Fever, on a rest-of-season hardship contract, donning number 3. Imagine that moment. Bree steps into the arena where Chloe once lit sparks in fleeting minutes. She hasn't played a regular season game for Indiana yet, but in her presence, a new narrative stays. For the season rewritten. The Fever's record stands 8 games above .500, 21-20, and they hold the 8th playoff spot, narrowly ahead of the Sparks with unexpected roster losses stacking like dominoes. Fans might wonder, is this team broken, or simply being tested beyond belief? Yet every red X also reveals locks previously untapped, hallways down which someone new might run. Bree Hole's arrival isn't just a matchup adjustment, it's a narrative shift. Call her a placeholder, call her insurance. Those labels don't capture what she brings, a fresh heartbeat. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.